driving the 2004 Jeep Grand Cherokee Overland. Now the first thing you notice about this car is that it's got a remarkable turn of speed. 0 to 60 is dealt with in 6.7 seconds, which by 2026 is fast, but by 2004 standards this thing would have felt like a spaceship. The power delivery is smooth, it's effortless, it's indulgent and rich. Quite frankly, it's like pouring brandy cream on a Christmas pudding. It's absolutely irresistible to just squeeze the throttle, and then all of a sudden you're going a lot faster than you thought you were. The next thing that you notice once you get over this surprising turn of pace is actually just how quiet this car is. And I'm not talking 2004 standards of quiet, I'm talking modern luxury car standards of quiet. The ride over bumps is seamless and smooth. It's just wafting, effortless. The next thing that we have to talk about really is how the powertrain works. Now the 5-speed gearbox that we talked about in the last video is exceptionally smooth, and it really does put the powertrain, the engine, right where it needs to be at any speed that you're going. You can hustle this car if you want, but it's much better suited to just relaxed cruising. Turn in and grip is actually surprisingly on point for a car that can cross a field backwards and go rock climbing in Moab. It's almost crisp in how it turns into a corner, and once you're in, it grips, it finds a groove and it just chases after it, and you actually find that you can go quite fast. Stamp on the accelerator and you can bring the powertrain out to its 5800 RPM red line. You find that there's little more than a sophisticated growl inside the cabin to tell you that you're going, well, actually a little bit faster than you should be, and you're gaining quite rapidly on the car in front. To that end, slowing this car is remarkably easy. It's 2.2 tonnes, but its 4 12-inch brake rotors slow this car down with little more than a gentle press on the pedal. Feel is poor, but really it doesn't matter. They're just comfortable and quite easy to use brakes. Now, the next thing we have to talk about is the steering feel. Now, the feel is actually not great. It's a very overboosted power steering setup, and it's quite slow, but that's nice. It just guides the car where you want it to go. It's almost Cadillac-esque actually. You point the wheel, you guide the car, job done. It's not particularly sporty, but you don't really want it to be. It just cossets you in the way that an old Jaguar might have done before they went a bit weird. On this test drive I've driven over some very rough, bumpy roads, and what strikes you with this car is the noise, vibration and harshness, or NVH levels inside the cab are actually quite low. There aren't any vibrations through the door card really, or through the steering wheel. This is quite nice. It's very refreshing actually to drive this car. It feels completely isolated from the road. I think that's partially due to the thick sidewall tyres that seem to have gone out of fashion, and the fact that it's got coil springs on all 4 corners. Whilst I talk about comfortable cruising at 70 miles an hour at 2000 RPM, what really will catch you out with this car is not the sudden turn of speed, or when you stamp on the accelerator, it's how it builds that speed. It's quiet. At 90 miles an hour you could be doing 2700 RPM. There really is very little giveaway the speed you're going, and that's where the police will catch you. The tall gearing on this car might be a bit of a problem on paper, but really in reality 5th gear it pulls hard. You can just tap on the accelerator or squeeze it lightly, and you're wafting with this wall of torque from very, very low down in the RPM rev range. A bit like this. example, a twin solid axle car might seem a bit daunting on these country lanes that I'm driving on. You might feel like you're going to be thrown around, but that isn't really the case in this car. The seats hold you in position quite well. They're very comfortable and quite grippy. Head toss is actually quite limited, even with this example at 141,000 miles. All in all then, this is almost a performance SUV. Its straight line speed and handling capabilities on the pavement are all very good, but really what this car is supposed to be doing is off-roading. But I guess with a Grand Cherokee, especially this one, you can really do both.